History Month shines a light on some important names in history. One stands out as a pillar of Milwaukee's architectural community. Alonzo Robinson was Wisconsin's first black architect whose work can be seen throughout Milwaukee. Taj Mahal shares his legacy and efforts to preserve his designs.
His presence is in our eyesight every day.
Claiborne Benson, executive director at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society, says the work of black architects like Alonzo Robinson Jr. is visible throughout the city of Milwaukee. He says it's important for people to know that these buildings are part of Milwaukee's black history.
He's unique and special. He comes here in late 40s, early 50s. He becomes the lifeline for many of the African Americans migrating from the South.
Just like most architects, Benson says Robinson's work had its own unique touches.
He puts little things like vestibules and libraries and hallways in people's homes that they would normally have, that are not in older homes that existed in the communities existing in Milwaukee. He builds small buildings and builds additions to buildings.
Alonzo Robinson also worked for the city of Milwaukee and the county for a period of time and designed some notable buildings, like the downtown Milwaukee Fire Department headquarters, which was renamed in his honor back in 2021. With so many things changing around the city, efforts are underway to document and preserve the work of black architects like Robinson.
We are working with a team of community partners to study the work of Alonzo Robinson Jr.
Justin Miller is an architectural historian at UW-Milwaukee. He's heading a project that dives deep into Robinson's work. Across his 40 years of work, he's designed more than 100 buildings in our area.
We've been working to identify as many of the buildings that he built as possible. We've identified about 120 projects. Those range from large-scale public buildings like the Kosciuszko Park Pavilion, some of the churches, Church of the Living God on Atkinson, so large buildings like that, all the way down to very small remodeling projects, things like beauty salons, daycares, restaurants, that he completed as part of his private practice.
Miller says those smaller projects are the most interesting and shape much of Robinson's legacy in the community.
Because they really show his abilities as an architect. The field of architecture is overwhelmingly white. I believe the last figure that I saw from the American Institute of Architects was that about only 1% of all architects are black. When Alonzo Robinson graduated from Howard University, there were only 70 black architects in the country. So it was like a tiny, tiny fraction.
He retired in the 1990s and passed away in 2003, but his legacy lives on, and this UW-Milwaukee project hopes to make Robinson's contributions to the community more widely known.
I think it's important to highlight architects like Robinson, other black architects, because their contributions, they bring a unique perspective to the kind of architecture they're designing. Alonzo Robinson was building primarily for African-American clients. And so a lot of those projects had much smaller budgets than some of the white architecture firms in town would have been able to do. And so Robinson really had to use all of his design skills in his toolbox to create these buildings.
Despite these obstacles, Robinson's vision was unwavering, and his work became integral in the development of Milwaukee's black community. Miller says preserving that legacy beyond just Black History Month is imperative.
We've realized that a lot of his projects, at least a dozen or so, have been demolished or are facing demolition. And a lot of times they weren't recognized as being his works. There've been a couple park buildings that have been demolished.
And Miller says preserving these buildings help preserve the history of Milwaukee.